Hey, what's up? It's iCkEdMeL. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. And I wanted to give you guys an update with this weird, bizarre story that I covered in December 8th, 2020, where there was these human remains found in Mount Dora Cemetery. It's in Florida. If you don't remember the story, that's okay, because we're going to do a little bit of recapping. We're going to watch a couple of videos, and it's really bizarre because I think that what happened was they caught these guys and it was some sort of ritualistic thing going on in their home where there was like limbs and body parts and all that stuff. So we're going to get into it. And when I first heard of the story, it's because Leave It to Bieber shared it with me. And it always reminds me of, I don't know why it makes me think of that time. Some of you guys that have been following me for a while may remember when I was out in the woods searching by the beach, actually by Dania Beach, and I came across like this cloth that was tied up and there was like bones inside, and when I first initially came up to it, I had no idea what was inside. I cut it open and there was bones in there, and at first I thought it was like human or something. I was freaking out. A couple steps in and look, we find a dress. I mean, I'm not surprised to see trash. I expect to see trash. Probably homeless people living out there. The one thing I needed to bring that I didn't bring is a trash thing to go through the trash. I didn't really. I'm afraid to like look what's in here. Sounds kind of hard. I'm gonna have to cut this open. All right, give me guys 1 second. Let me cut it. Hold on. I think I found bones. I don't know if it's animal or what it is. Oh, man. I was not expecting to find that here. I'm hearing noises out there. If this is bones, I'm going to call police. I found bones. I really hope this is not human. It could be just animal. I'm probably just freaking out. Right? This looks like to be some type of animal, I think. I found this cloth. Cut it open with my machete. And I found bones inside. I'm pretty sure this has to be animal bones. I mean, I don't know. I see these teeth here. This can't be like human. I don't know if I should report this. I'm pretty sure this is animal bones. It's just weird that it was in this cloth thing and I cut it up. This is... Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's got to be some sort of animal. A cat or something. But these bones are kind of big. I don't know. Let me send this to some people, see what they say. But then I like looked at it, and then I sent pictures to friends, and you can tell by the skull that it wasn't. But it's just the manner that it was found in. I don't know if it was like somebody getting rid of their pet, because I just don't know who would get rid of their pet in a piece of cloth like that, like just tied up. It was just really weird. So I don't know if somebody was just getting rid of a pet or somebody was doing something funky. And it just takes me back to this story because this is on a whole nother level, obviously, but there's people out there that do wicked stuff like this. So let me play you the original clip for the recap.
Mom and daughter described the moment they spotted something disturbing at a local cemetery. Sky 6 flew over the damage here. Deputies in Lake County say someone got into 4 graves and tried a 5th one. This is at the Edgewood Cemetery. It's along Britt Road in Mount Dora. News 6's Lauren Cervantes spoke to the women about their discovery and where the investigation stands tonight. She joins us in the newsroom with that update. Lauren.
When we was driving by, we noticed that there was a vault that was leaned up against a tree.
Tanya Booth and her daughter Emma say they were driving past the cemetery Sunday when they noticed something wasn't right. That's when they tell me they decided to drive through the cemetery to check it out.
Right about the middle of the cemetery, things looked
worse.
way beyond what, what was up against the tree. So I got out the car, I walked up, and there was no top to the coffin.
It was open graves. The remains were disturbed.
They called law enforcement. These photos of smashed grave sites were sent to us from the Lake County Sheriff's Office. A report says that remains were missing from 4 graves and states that someone attempted to get into a 5th grave at the Edgewood Cemetery in Mount Dora.
It's like something out of a movie.
The Lake County Sheriff's report says concrete lids were, quote, broken in pieces and the caskets were pried open. The Sheriff's Office says investigators found evidence that suggests this is likely tied to some form of ritualistic activity.
My heart just goes.
And the thing with this too is that the graves that were targeted were like veterans, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit, specifically targeted because of these people believe that their bones had some sort of heroic essence to it and it would be stronger.
Goes out to the families. I can't imagine what they're going through. They shouldn't have to go through something like this after they've put their families to rest. My heart, my prayers go out to them.
So this was the old clip, right? Somebody left me a comment recently on one of the areas. I couldn't find it any longer, but thank you to that person that left me the comment, because they actually tracked down these 2 guys, okay? They tracked them down by the DNA on the cigars that they left behind on scene. These are the 2 guys here, so let me play this for you. It's a 43-year-old Brian Montalvo Tolentino and Juan Burgos Lopez. Okay, I shouldn't do that, I know.
Those graves were found destroyed. Investigators say body parts of some of the people buried were found inside a Polk County apartment. News 6's Crystal Moyer tells us about the one piece of evidence that led to the arrests.
It all comes down to cigars that were left here at the scene. Detectives with the Lake County Sheriff's Office say they ran the DNA through their database and got a match, leading them to the first suspect. 43-year-old Brian Tolentino and 39-year-old Burgos Lopez are behind bars on 4 counts of disturbing the contents of a grave and abuse of a dead body. Investigators with the Lake County Sheriff's Office say the 2 men admitted to randomly breaking into graves here at the Edgewood Cemetery and taking heads and other body parts last month.
It's sick. I don't know them, and it breaks my heart.
Mother and daughter Tanya and Emma Booth are still emotional after discovering the vandalism and calling police.
It was just kind of like concrete thrown around.
The bodies were exposed and dismembered.
According to an arrest affidavit, investigators searched Lopez's Polk County home and found a human skull, a hand and partial arm, as well as multiple bones. They also found several human heads, one belonging to an Army veteran laid to rest here at Edgewood Cemetery.
And so they had shrine. I think there's going to be a picture in the article too. They had like a literal shrine. Body parts. I even heard that supposedly, I got to read the article again, but one of the skulls wasn't even part of this cemetery. It was unidentified. I guess, I don't know, who knows where they got it from. So it's pretty interesting how they were caught with the cigarettes. The remains, this whole thing happened in early December at the Edgewood Cemetery. Deputies say while they were investigating, they found cigars. Then they were sent for DNA processing and the results came back through the database. Warrant was obtained to get DNA sample for Tolentino on Wednesday. On the same day, detectives met with him and confessed he was going to the cemetery. He used a crowbar to open the vaults and removing the heads of the deceased. He also stated that he held an open bag while Lopez grabbed the heads and put them inside. So imagine the kind of people that are doing this kind of stuff, going out to cemeteries for ritualistic activity. The sheriff's office said the vandals disturbed 4 graves and attempted to access a 5th. Detectives said evidence suggests that the incident was likely tied to some form of ritualistic activity. A search warrant was executed at the Lopez Lake Wales home, which I think there's a video that shows the home, Wednesday night, and the deputies said that they found 6 skulls, a hand, a partial arm, and multiple other large bones within what they believed was a religious shrine. Records show Lopez said 4 of the skulls were taken from the graves and 2 obtained from other practitioners. One of the skulls belonged to an Army veteran laid to rest. So a little bit of clarity on this next article we're going to read from the BayNews9.com. So they state that, and I guess I was just reading it wrong, other practitioners had given him the 2 other skulls. So this is like a religious thing for them, their ritual activities, and there's got to be more people out there that are doing these kinds of practices. And these other 2 practitioners, hey, yeah, I got extra skulls on hand here, take it.
Investigators saying the remains of a Marine, an Army sergeant from World War I,
Wow.
An Army hero serving in Korea,
Wow.
and a woman who was a senior caretaker was stolen from Mount Dora's Edgewood Cemetery in December.
I was disgusted when I heard about it.
Gary Smith is the commander of the VFW post in Mount Dora. He's a Vietnam veteran. He couldn't believe what happened.
And to think that they would do veterans that way.
I mean, in 24 years that I've been here, this is probably the most bizarre case I've ever seen. Not only were the heads missing from the coffins, but there were orange peels placed where the heads would be.
Orange peels placed where the heads would be. So they would take the skulls and then put these orange peels there.
We also found a dead chicken nearby the
Dead
grave.
chicken.
So, I mean, we had some very clear indicators. We felt like this was some sort of religious ritual, and as it turns out, that's exactly what it was.
So the name of this religion, they say it's similar to Santeria, but it's called Palo Mayombe, if that's how you say it right. Palo Mayombe told them spirits led them to Mount Dora Cemetery the night the graves were vandalized. The men said they intentionally targeted the graves of veterans because the spirits of heroes are stronger. They had to perform a ritual before removing the skulls from the graves, which included smoking a cigar, stupid, and leaving orange peels in the graves. 3 of the 4 bodies whose skulls were taken were military veterans, including one who served in the Marine Corps and was buried in his dress uniform. Damn, that's crazy, man. Wow. One skull that is still unidentified suggests that another cemetery was also targeted, though the other article says the guys were claiming they got it from another practitioner, but who knows what's true, right? Because they're not going to want to self-incriminate themselves, right? Oh, somebody else gave it to me. We didn't go and rob another grave. Lopez has no criminal history, but runs an after-school care program at a karate center and is a former Puerto Rico law enforcement officer. Interesting, from Puerto Rico. He said Lopez was a tata, or a religious leader, and indicated on social media that cemeteries were holy sites and shopping centers. They look at it as shopping centers. Judd said investigators at this time aren't aware of anyone else involved in the grave robbing. This is a photo provided by the Polk County Sheriff. It shows what authorities say a shrine of Palo Mayombe religion discovered by detectives investigating desecration of veterans. So I don't know if this is an actual image or just looks like it might be an actual image. I mean, they have like a chain lock here. I can't really see what's in the background. On another video, maybe we can talk about that, or I'm not experienced in this kind of stuff, but maybe somebody would want to come on and talk about it. Palo Mayombe. I feel like I've heard that name before.
This home behind me is more than 70 miles from the cemetery in Mount Dora, but investigators say
they drove 70 miles.
This is where they found the body parts that were taken from the cemetery for some kind of religious purpose. Wesh 2 was at the Edgewood Cemetery the morning after the bizarre damage was discovered. Tombs smashed open, and as we heard from the woman who found it, body parts removed from the graves.
There was a pillow, but nothing on it. I mean, the head was gone.
Investigators say they found cigars in the graveyard and used them to get a DNA sample that matched Tolentino, who lives at this house in Davenport, Polk County. He allegedly admitted to holding open bags for Lopez, who pulled out heads after using a crowbar to open the tombs, then took them to his home in Lake Wales. No one answered the door here today, but the sheriff's office says they found 6 human heads, a hand, and
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Part of an arm in a
Jeffrey's
quote, religious shrine in the unattached outbuilding located at the back of the property. 4 of those heads were confirmed to be from the Mount Dora Cemetery.
To right on the back of the property, religious shrine in the unattached outbuilding located at the back of the
From
property.
the Mount Dora Cemetery, and detectives say Lopez told them that he bought the other 2. A criminal complaint against Lopez suggests he's a believer of Palo Mayombe, a religion that reportedly can involve human remains and animal sacrifice and rituals, and sometimes grave robbing.
So you guys definitely comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Palo Mayombe and this whole story. I just wanted to do a little bit of an update with regards to this. Now, today was Naomi Boulevard's birthday. She's 22 years old, so I shared a post from the group, wished her happy birthday. It's kind of weird, you know, given the circumstances. And on Thursday, we're going to be having a live stream. I definitely invite you to come, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be having like a call-in show. So we're going to go over some of the details before I start taking calls, some of the timeline, get everybody up to date, and just really want to hear people's thoughts and theories and suggestions. So if you're on YouTube, what you do is you go to my page. It's going to be one of the first things that pops up. You can set a reminder. or you can click on the actual video. I'll put the link down below, and you can hit set a reminder. Same thing goes for Facebook. You just scroll down. There's a page there that says, or a post that says, set a reminder. On YouTube, I made a playlist because sometimes people have a hard time locating certain videos when I'm doing multiple videos on a story. So if you want to see the Ankhold Nature Center or the Westlake Park or Ocean Drive, or you're completely unfamiliar with the story, the first video, it's in chronological order, is the first video I did with Naomi Boulevard, which kind of pulls you in and gets you updated if you're not aware of the story at all. Feel free to email me or DM me things that you think should be brought up or looked into, or things that with the story that we should check out. And definitely follow and subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. Follow all my social media. And I appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves, and peace.
I see potential subscribers. Perfect.